My name is Rowan, and I am the facilitator for the Puget Sound Druid Forest Walks and Talks meetup group. And this is another recorded meditation for one of our tree allies. This one is for our May 2021 ally, where we worked with the Cottonwood tree, also known locally as the Black Cottonwood or Balsam Poplar here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're not in this region and you're seeing this video, you might have cottonwood trees that are local to your region, or perhaps poplar trees, which are very similarly related. You can also work with those trees as well and substitute them for the tree ally for our meditation here. So what this video is about is this is going to be a roughly 10 minute guided meditation to work with the spirit of cottonwood. And the cottonwood tree, without going into too much time spending describing it, is a tree that is deeply symbolic in many Native American indigenous traditions, but also, and how we're going to be looking at it today in the meditation, is a tree that is associated with forest succession, because it is one of the first trees to emerge after a major disturbance. So after a fire, or especially after a major flood, black cottonwood trees and poplars are known for being these pioneer species. And so that is the theme of our meditation. If you'd like to know more about these meditations and how to take part in our monthly tree talks, feel free to see the description and a link to our meetup group below. You can also check my channel for other recorded meditations that I have done for other trees. So with that said, let's go ahead and get ready for the actual meditation. For this meditation, you don't need anything special in particular. You might want to have a notebook and some writing instrument handy to record your thoughts afterward. But otherwise, it's just you in a comfortable position where you won't be disturbed for hopefully the next 10 to 15 minutes. So if you need to take a moment to pause the video and get what you need and get comfortable, this would be a good time to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with the Cottonwood meditation. So again, making sure that you are comfortably seated and ready, we're going to go ahead and start. And so for this meditation, just go ahead and close your eyes. Make sure you're not seated in any kind of an awkward way. It helps to have your feet planted on the ground if you're seated, or if you're lying down, to make sure that you don't have any weird pressure points or anything that might be distracting. So as much as possible, just try to get comfortable in your space. And now, closing your eyes, let's begin to take some deep breaths. So just inhaling and exhaling in a way that's very natural and normal for you. You don't have to worry about how long you're inhaling, or how long you're exhaling, or how deep that you're inhaling. Just allow yourself to breathe very comfortably, very normal for you. Just have some light attention to that process of breathing. Feel and sense the ground beneath you, the supporting earth, and continuing to breathe in and out. Sense the sky above, stretching far above wherever you are currently seated. Sense also the land where you are present, whatever you call or relate to as the land where you are at this time. Visualize that land. Visualize the features of that land, the communities of animals and plants and people. Visualize also the waterways and the seas, for all lands ultimately are connected by the water. The three grounding realms of the land below you, the sky above you, and the sea surrounding are present in here for you to access, to feel resourced and supported. Sense also that there is a direction before you and behind you, to your left and to your right, and that there is a direction within you as well. And focusing on that stillness within, know that you are safe here at this time and space, that you are spiraling ever forward into the future. And from this place of stillness, allow yourself to sense that there is a mist or a fog beginning to rise from the ground below you. The mist rises up and begins to move from your feet up to your legs. It is a cool, calm, flowing mist. It rises further and further, rising up your legs to the trunk of your body, and from the trunk of your body up to your head. This mist gently envelops you, and you feel a sense of calm, stillness, and peace. Now, as you open your inner vision, the mist begins to fade, and you realize that you are standing on a path in the middle of a lovely Cascadian forest, surrounded by a mixture of broadleaf and evergreen trees. Springtime is in full swing, with salmonberry bushes and dogwoods blooming, and birdsong filling the air. The path below you is winding through the trees, and it is lined on either side with shrubs and ferns. Everywhere you turn, you can see signs of life, going about its business in a variety of different ways. Yet at this time, you focus on the path ahead of you, and as you begin to take your first steps, you're not quite sure where this path might lead. And as you make your way further, you begin to hear the sound of distant water trickling. The sound is faint, but with each step, it becomes more clear. It gets louder, and you can make out that sound of a stream or a river not far ahead. But at this time, as you look in all directions, you can still only see green vegetation and trees all around. Suddenly, at once, the landscape before you opens up as you come to the edge of the forest and are surrounded by blinding light. You are all at once in the sunlight and looking out over an area of the forest that was recently devastated by a massive flood. An area where water felled major trees and tore away all the underbrush like a knife through butter. There is now this massive empty area in the forest surrounding the river. And while the waters have receded and the stream has returned to its natural course, you know that this area will never quite be the same again. Its destruction seems complete. How can there be a hope for recovery? And as you survey the scene, you notice a single massive tree standing near the water's edge. It has a tall, straight trunk and a wide, spreading crown. And although it is standing what seems to be perilously close to the stream's rocky banks, It has anchored itself firmly in place thanks to its wide spreading roots. And as you draw closer to the tree, an overwhelming scent, like perfume, fills the air and draws you in. It has a cleansing and uplifting effect. The scent purifies the air and awakens your senses. You draw nearer to the tree, and you know it now for what it is. This is a black cottonwood, and not just any cottonwood, but the largest and grandest one you have ever seen. This sole survivor of the harsh storm and flood has taken on now an additional aura of majesty and significance. Allow yourself to take some time to observe this tree, to contemplate its great size, its strength, its perseverance. Take in its presence and pay attention for any signs of life or anything else that seems to stand out about the tree. You can talk to the tree, you can ask if you can touch it, or find a place to sit beside it or under it. And if you listen, can you hear a response? Spend some time making this intuitive connection with the spirit of Cottonwood in whatever way feels right for you and where you feel guided by the tree. You may sense a connection to the roots below, or perhaps to the trunk in front of you, or maybe you find a way to venture up its length toward the branches overhead. You may even find yourself connecting with its sweet leaf buds or seeds, sleeping within their white cotton-lined pods, just waiting for release on the wind. Allow the tree to share with you what it wants to show you and what it wants to communicate with you. What brings you joy when all else fails? What inspires you and motivates you? What keeps you going? What is your anchoring point? What are your hopes for the future? What seeds would you like to see grow in the coming days, weeks, or months ahead? As you consider these hopes and wishes for the future, you might visualize them as sitting in the catkins high above you, the tree's fruit now coming to maturity and ready to send forth its own hopes for the future. See if you can visualize those wishes as the fuzzy little seeds waiting to emerge, waiting for the perfect moment. With a stirring of the wind, the cottonwood's leaves begin to whisper and dance in the breeze with excitement. It is time. The fluffy seeds begin to drift off on the wind, spinning and twirling in all directions. Although the way forward is uncertain, the seeds are on their way, floating far overhead. And with any luck, they will find moist, fertile ground somewhere far from here where they can take root and start anew. Visualize those hopes for the future you have floating among those seeds. You don't need to know where they will land. You can have faith that at least some of them will be able to take root. You bow in respect to the wise old cottonwood and sense that it is now time for you to make your way back to where you started. Take your time to thank the spirit, and then taking nothing with you, make your way back to the forest from where you emerged. You slip once more behind the curtain of green and begin to make your way back down the dirt path, heading back to the place where you began your journey. Allow your intuition to guide you back to where you need to go. See that the sun is shining overhead. Allow it to fill you with a sense of strength and renewed energy as you make your way back to the starting point. Once more, listen to the sounds of birds calling, their joyous music filling the air. Observe the many plants and trees, the flowering shrubs, and all the other forms of life with which you are sharing in this moment of connection. And with that, the mists begin to roll in once more from the outer edges of your awareness, rising from the ground. They begin to rise up your feet and your legs. This calm, flowing mist rising up from your legs to the trunk of your body, and from the trunk of your body up to the top of your head, until you are once more enveloped within it. Now allow yourself to come back to awareness of your body, the land below you, the sky above you, and the sea surrounding. And you are in your room, or wherever it is that you are currently seated, and you are residing within your body. Focus on that breath as you breathe in and out once more, having awareness of the breath filling your body. You are back in this room, at this place, at this time. Wiggle your fingers or your toes as needed, and when you are ready, open your eyes. Hold on to your chair below you or touch the ground. Do whatever you need at this time to get back more fully, and if you feel so called, go ahead and take some notes about your meditation. So that is our guided Cottonwood meditation. Again, we do, this is part of our monthly tree talks, and so there will be more as we do them, and feel free to take a look at some of our earlier content. Again, take a peek at the link below if you'd like to know more about our meetup and how to take part in the live events. I hope that you were able to make a connection with that tree, and feel free to comment below or reach out to me through the meetup group, and I would love to know what you experienced. Thank you, and bye for now.